Okay. Well, folks, it looks like we are going live and see coming at you with a really special, new, fresh, and updated training. Yes, we are live. That is so awesome.
I see
All
it on
right.
my end, Dan. I'm going to bug out.
All righty. Thank you, Coach Kurt. So hang tight with us, folks. We are opening up just a little bit early, but that's okay. Gives people time to, well, I don't know, stop washing their dishes, looking over their child's homework, whatever kind of things they may have going on. Or they're off scanning at Walmart and this pops up on their phone. Okay, good. Yes, I see that we are live. Okay, so we're going to get started formally in about a minute, and we're going to dive into a really incredible training with one of our certified trainers from the e-commerce business school, who for new people once sat in your shoes, but not quite, because Kay had been in my previous training company, but in terms of e-commerce, yes, standing in the same shoes as many of you who either you're looking at e-commerce for the very first time or you're considering it. We're gonna have something really cool here, which is about print on demand and also having a great e-commerce mindset. So you know what? Okay, it's 7 o'clock. So what we're gonna do is I am going to share my screen and then I'm gonna introduce our awesome trainer tonight. All right, it looks like I have that all set correctly. Just hang tight with me, folks. It takes a little bit of finagling. And if you're coming in through our, hold on, I gotta move that. All righty, one more little maneuvering. I'm gonna move that over there. Okay, and next I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so, right. Got to get to here. Just thanks for your patience, everybody. Like I say, it takes some finagling. Ta-da! There we are. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Ann Saig, founder of the E-commerce Business School. Thank you for joining us here in this Facebook Live that we are broadcasting on the E-commerce Business School page. And we're going to go through some awesome information tonight. So, hey, greetings to you, Kay.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
I am so impressed, Kay. I reached out to you, a couple days ago. I said, hey, Kay, can you do me a favor? And you're like, what you got, Ann? And I knew you were really busy with your parents and helping them with their beach home or just kind of a lot of busy stuff. And you're like, yeah, I think I can do that, Ann. And you were driving home yesterday and you got home from church today and you quick put together some training slides for us. So thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, well, here we are looking. You are a certified trainer. So why don't you talk a little, who's this in the owl costume, by the way?
That's Sarah, my partner.
That's right. So tell people a little bit about your background, that how you came in, and Sarah being your business partner that you met through the e-commerce business school, which is another awesome benefit of being here. But I think it's going to be worth people's time to hear your backstory. How was it that you came into the e-commerce business school?
I was actually worked in the LDS independent book industry for over 20 years and had retired and wanted something to do and wanted something more online. My last several years in the industry, I was working a lot with stores, getting them online, getting them to market online. And so I had a little bit of background there, but I wanted to learn how to do it better. And so I found Ann and I started learning in her other programs before she shifted to the e-commerce business school. I kind of watched her when she first started shifting. And then I talked to Coach Kurt in probably a beginning of June of 2015 and kind of told him where I was and what was going on and that I'd been watching. And he said, well, we're getting ready to launch Shop Your Way to Wealth at the end of June. And he said, I think that that's where you're going to fit. So I waited till a couple of weeks, which was very tough. And I did play around with some things in the meantime. And so Shop Your Way to Wealth was launched at the end of June in 2015. As soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, I can do this. And so at the time it was rolling out, the books weren't back from the press yet. And this was before everything was digital. and so we got chapter 1 digitally, and then we were going to get our books in the mail. Well, I had chapter 1 done in 10 minutes. And so then I started bugging Ann, come on, where's the rest? I want to get the rest. And that was on a Tuesday. And so by Saturday, I think she realized enough of us were chomping. So they went ahead and released it to us digitally so that we could get going. So I got the digital copy on Saturday. By Monday, I had read it all and I was out shopping. And I had, by June 15th or July 15th, I had my first shipment going in, and I just went out and just started hustling. And my goal was to break 100,000 in a year. I was a week short. It took me a week longer than I thought to do it. But so it took me a month longer. I mean, it took me a few weeks longer than my initial, but I was able to do it. And the training, the events, everything about the community is something that is so unique. And there's nothing like our live events. And I went to my first live event in September of 2015. And as a result of that event, I was put into a group where I met Sarah Sudas, who is now my business partner. She and I paired up, and we're actually now, she's in the owl suit. We were at ASD and she was our mascot running around in the owl suit. We are now in the process of formally and legally merging our businesses. And so we're in kind of a pause period in terms of accelerating, because we've got to get all the legal and paperwork and everything else done. But anyway, it's been a fun ride. And we have basically, Sarah and I have implemented just about every Shop Your Way to Wealth. Started in June. September, we went to the live event where Brian launched his book Flipping Profit System. We started with that. In November, we added wholesale to our plan. And then last April, they launched POD, and I jumped on that. I was training other things. Mindset was one of the things I was training, and I was helping Danita train with Shop Your Way to Wealth. And they launched POD, and I jumped on that. So that's where I'm at.
And all the more the reason, because of your rapid movement forward, we are going to provide some mindset training tonight. We're also going to do a little pop quiz for everybody. That's going to be really helpful, because what I hear from your story, Kay, is you are definitely an action taker.
Yes. And you've got to start, it starts in your head. It's got to start with thinking right and getting your head on straight. And if you don't do that, you're going to be like, it's like trying to fight going upstream all the time, rather than reversing the stream and making it positive and going with the flow. And it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. Definitely. And so so you pretty much have had success with every method that we've shared with you. From Shop Your Way to Wealth, you moved on to book flipping. I remember you even got someone who I believe did your shipping for you while you stuck with the scanning. You moved on to wholesale. You came to our ASD training workshop there. I remember that just like yesterday, actually. And you were following the checklist just like this. I remember it. You were studying it fastidiously. You were going to follow it to the T. You moved into private label. And then, yes, when we rolled out print on demand last year, you jumped right on it and got into really big action. So much so that you now in 10 months have a following of 16,000 people on your Facebook genealogy page, which we're going to get into that. So it really is testament, like you said, it begins here in the head.
Yep. It does. And this is so in terms of print on demand, this is how I started. I attended the live event last April, and there was the first training and rollout of the print on demand program that was being launched into the e-commerce business school. And so if you go to the next slide, the first thing you have to do is pick a niche. Okay. There's thousands of niches, and you can overthink this till you go crazy. one of the things that I like to point out here is that when I learned print on demand, it was a little different. We were going right to Shopify. Okay, so we were developing our own community, and we were developing our own brand, and we were developing our own products and putting them on a Shopify store. We have since inserted a little Amazon Launchpad into the program, which makes it a little bit easier for people to get started, to discover niches, because a lot of people get hung up on the niche part. When you're working with Amazon, your focus for finding a niche is a little bit different, because what you're looking on Amazon is what sells within a niche. So you're trying to find niches that have a lot of products that sell really well. Okay, and so you do your research there, and it's a little different, and we teach you how to do that. Teaching, nursing, there's lots of them. What I have found, if you do the Shopify side, where you're going to be creating a community and having to develop content, you want to pick a niche that you have a passion about. It's a lot of energy and work that goes into building that. And if you don't like the topic or don't know about the topic, you're going to have a really hard time generating the kind of content and enthusiasm and energy that you need to make that really work. Well, I love genealogy, and I have from the beginning. What I'm finding for me is that on Amazon, my genealogy words aren't necessarily the greatest keywords. People aren't searching as much there, but I've got a big community. I mean, the fact that I got 16,000 people, it's not that genealogy isn't a great niche. So what I'm learning is that I'm going to have to maybe do things a little bit differently. I'm going to have to educate my niche. And I've got a big platform to do that. I've got 16,000 people in climbing, to be able to educate them and show them fun things, fun products that are available that they can do in the niche. So don't get hung up on the niche. We've got a lot of great training on helping you pick a niche. Again, it depends on the way that you're going. If you don't know what your niche is, the Amazon Launchpad is a great way to start, because you can test out various niches and you can find one that works. Looking at ultimately to be able to build your own store, so you are going to want to get into something that you have passion about. So let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
So doing it my way, which is doing the Shopify first, you got to pick a niche that you have a passion about. This is my grandmother. So, and this is a meme that I created for my page. I'm a genealogist, just like my grandma before me. My grandmother started me doing genealogy when I was 12. And so that's a picture of me and her as adults. And the two pictures on the side are me and her in high school. And so I have integrated a lot of my own family pictures and history into the things that I've done on my page. And so it's made my page personal, and it creates an energy on my page that people connect with. But finding a niche that you're passionate about, that you want to develop content for, is going to make it a lot easier to then do it than to try to force yourself to do something just because you can make money.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So then let's do next slide. Next thing you want to do is you got to decide a name for your brand, and then you need to see if that domain name is available and then buy it. You then also want to see if that name is available on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and lock those in. So for me, I wanted Best Genealogy Gifts as my brand name for my products, because I knew if people were searching, they were going to search with the word genealogy, and I wanted to have that in my name. But when I went to social media, I didn't want my name to look like a sales page. So I went with Best Genealogy Tips. So I still have Best Genealogy, but my store is gifts, and my Facebook page where I'm providing my content is tips.
Makes perfect sense.
So that's what I did, and it, on that, and that's how I chose to do it. Okay, next slide. Then I started with creating a list of sayings about my niche. You can do this in a Word doc, a spreadsheet, a notebook, doesn't matter. I chose to do a spreadsheet, which I have then expanded and worked with, which you'll see later on. It helps keep me sane in doing what I'm doing. But the key thing is that you want to create a list of sayings. Now, not all the sayings are going to be good for products. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's go to the next one. How do you find them? Google, Pinterest, Etsy, there's lots of places. I started with just exactly this. I went in and I put genealogy sayings. I looked at images. I looked at websites that gave me genealogy sayings. Some of them were comics, some of them were quotes, some of them were just funny things. Didn't matter. But in fact, in doing this, putting this together today, I added more sayings, just throwing these 3 things in last minute so I could get a screenshot to put on this slide. I found 2 new things to put in my spreadsheet that I'm going to be able to make stuff on that I hadn't seen before.
Right, cool.
So it's constantly growing. It's a living, growing thing. When I first started my spreadsheet, that first night, I mean, I literally went to class on Saturday. That night, I decided what I was going to do. By Sunday, I had my domain names, I had my Facebook pages, and I had a list of over 300 sayings to get started with by the next day. So when you have a niche that you're passionate about and you know, it works and you can find it really fast. I also actually have a couple others in the background that may actually work better for me on Amazon that I started because of things that my husband's interested in and things that my son's interested in. And so I've got some avenues that I can work with down the road. Awesome. So anyway, yeah, you get now in my spreadsheet, I've got almost 600.
Wow.
Things to work with. Okay, let's go to the next one. So now what you want to do is I've got my Facebook page. I want to start sharing posts. So I want to start creating content. Okay, you need to get that ball rolling. I don't want people to come to my page and not see anything. And so ways that you can create, number one, you can find other niches on Facebook, other Facebook pages that are in your niche, and you can share posts from their pages to your niche. That's an easy way to share content. One thing to remember when you do that, and I do that, but I don't do it a lot. Because if anyone from your page shares that post, it's the originator that gets shared, not you. Mm-hmm. So nobody knows that it came from you.
Right.
So I do that because it helps me to fill content in on the page, and sometimes it just makes sense to share it. But you want that in the minority. Then the other thing is you create your own memes and content. And that's what I do a lot of times. I'll go to these other pages and I'll click on the link that they're sharing and I go to that blog or whatever. And then I create my own meme for it and do my own link to it. And then I've got my own content that as it gets shared, my name goes with it. And then as you start creating your designs, share them as a meme first before you show them on a product. So
I like that idea.
So you start getting feedback, you start seeing what people like, but you're not shoving a product down their face.
Right.
Okay. So let's go to the next slide.
And they're letting you know what sayings they do like.
Yeah. And you can see so here's a couple. So here's 2 of my designs. I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams and my family tree is a hoot. And I made memes out of them. So the design itself is just the owl tree with the words and just the dream catcher. But I put them on a different background to make it more of a meme and not just be the design. Let's go to the next one. I have 2 more. History Medic, saving the past one ancestor at a time. And I'm not the black sheep, I'm the tie-dyed one. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
So, you put those up and then, people they see it, they like it, they laugh, they think it's funny, they share it. And then when you go back later and put it on a product and then display the product, they go, oh, I really like that. Boom. Now you've got engagement in that. When you're doing your content posts, things to remember is you're really looking to get engagement. You don't want people just to look at it and move on. You want them to like, you want them to comment, you want them to share, you want them to do something. Mm-hmm. So you need to ask them to do that. Yeah. And you need to ask questions in your post, not yes or no questions. Mm-hmm. You want a question that they can answer, okay? The other thing you want to be looking for is you're looking for content to share. Like I said, you look at other Facebook pages in your niche, what content are they sharing and what blogs are they getting content from? I write very little of my own original content in this niche. There is so much information out there. I just know how to find it.
Yeah.
And so because I know how to find it, I can then share it with people. And when people ask me questions, oh, my great-great-grandfather was in the Civil War. I don't know how to look. I don't know how to research him. I know exactly how to find instructions for how to research Civil War ancestors, and I can give them the link and they're on their way.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you have a passion and you know your niche.
Right.
But then I started bookmarking blogs so that I can, when I need to find content, I can just go to my bookmarks, find a blog, go out and look, what have you shared lately, and find an article that I want to share, and boom, I'm done. Look for categories to make creating easier. And what I mean by that is I actually did teach a class on writing your life history one question at a time. And I had a handout that had over 150 questions.
Wow.
So you just answer one a day. Well, I made individual memes for each question.
Oh.
So now I have 150 content posts instantly.
Yeah.
I did this, I came up with an idea of family history fun facts. What's your mother's favorite color? What's your father's favorite color? What color eyes does your father have? Just different things that have to do. How many brothers and sisters do you have? Anything that has to do with family and family history. And I created little individual memes for each one of those questions.
That's brilliant.
And so it just makes the content creation a lot easier,
I'm getting tips from you right now for us to implement, which I'm going to take one directly right now. Everybody who's watching, especially on the Facebook page, you let me know if you've had any idea of a niche that's popped into your head by watching what Kay has trained on so far. Right in the comments section, right, Kay?
Yep.
All right.
And then the thing to sharing is you got to have some kind of way to track what you posted when, because the key to this is that after 3 or 4 months, you can recycle your posts so that you're not always in 100% creation mode. You can look back and say, oh, I shared that 3 or 4 months ago, because as your community is constantly growing, you've got new people that never saw that post. And like I said, I've got 16,000 people that follow my page, but they don't see everything that I post. Facebook doesn't always, a lot depends on how much they've engaged with my page, all kinds of things. So even sharing something that, and even if they've seen it again, the chances of them remembering, or they might, especially if it's a chuckle. I have a thing called Genealogy Giggles. And even if they see it again, it's the kind of thing that even though I've read it before, every time I see it, it makes me laugh, thing. And that's just kind of how it goes.
And Jackie is writing in the comments, she's had several ideas.
Awesome. Way to go, Jackie. I mean, you get a hold of this thing and it just goes crazy. I mean, and it's really, really fun. So, all right, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
So this is a list of my bookmarks. So these are all different places that I've gotten content that I've been able to share on my page at one time or another, and I have them at my fingertips when I need to go look for content. Because it's important to me that I'm sharing good quality content that's helping people. I've had people on my page find cousins that they didn't know they had.
Wow.
It's so fun, and so it's just really neat to read the different stories as they share different stories with me about some of the things that they've researched. I asked a question one time, what's the funniest occupation you found in researching?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, the answers were hilarious. The strangest one I found was on my husband's side. In a census, he was a whip maker. I never even knew that was a thing. But around 1900, when they still had horse and buggies, I guess they needed whips. So, it's just kind of fun. So have fun with whatever you're doing, because if you don't have fun, it's going to be hard for you to do it.
Yeah, this is giving me a wealth of ideas here, Kay. A wealth of ideas.
So you want to get content on your page before you start bringing people there. Okay, so this is just a screenshot of some of the memes that I've put up on my page. I don't even know when this this series was. But you're going to see things like, what's your favorite memory of your grandpa? That got all kinds of comments. People had to tell me, you know, it's fun reading them. You know, it's just really, really cool. You'll see the family or personal history question at a time, the blue journaling thing. That's the things where I ask one question at a time. So yep, there, and then get one down at the bottom. The keep calm seriously with this family tree, that's a design. Just the design. The mug above it is the actual mug, family tree hugger mug. I've made several sales just from that picture posting
that's
on
awesome.
The one down, best genealogy gifts, is just basically a general advertisement for my store. I put that up and said the store is open.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, so you just kind of rotate all these things. I have funny things in there. I have serious things in there. I have quotes. I have just, you know, all kinds of stuff. So it's just a matter of, and once you get about, 12 to 15 posts up on your page, now you're ready to start bringing people in. So the first thing you do is, let's go to the next one, is, we'll back up. We're looking for engagement. Okay, so here's go ahead. I'm sorry, I need to back up. You don't need to
back up one more?
Nope.
The other way?
One more.
Right here?
Right there.
Yay. Okay.
So this is a meme that I put up. Those little leaves on my pedigree are cruel minions sent to make sure I stay up 4 hours longer working on genealogy. And then I put only 4 hours. I've been up all night chasing those little leaves. How about you? And so if you look at under the arrows, I had 11,617 people were reached with that post.
Wow.
1,892 engagements. 475 people liked it. 28 people commented, but look, 159 people shared that post. And when that post got shared, my name went with it. And I don't know how many times, and I don't know if this number up here, the engagements, are how many times people shared it from their friends that shared it. You know, I have no idea where this ended up. It was shared 159 times from my page. But then once the people shared it, if other people shared it, my name goes with it, but I don't, unless this engagement number is keeping track of that. That's the only thing that I can think of, because these numbers don't add up to 1,800 engagements.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and so that's the power of just doing your own stuff, you know, and putting your own spin on things. It just makes it really cool.
And enjoying it and having fun. It's very clear from what you wrote here. You own this thing. It's a part of your life. It's in your DNA.
It is. Oh my God.
It's in your DNA.
It is. And I have a meme for that.
Okay, I figured you would.
Okay, so now you're going to build your community, and you have to decide how often you're going to post to maintain the engagements. That's what you've got to understand. As you're bringing people into this group, if they're not engaging with your posts, Facebook will only show your post to them a few times, and then it drops off their feed, and they don't see it anymore unless you get back, you know, they come to you, unless they come to you. That doesn't happen. So you want to keep people engaging, which means that you have to keep posting. Okay. Now that can be overwhelming, and you can decide how fast you want to get it going. When you're first starting, I didn't post 3 times a day when I first started. I was still trying to figure out what I was doing. But after about 2 months, and again, I had knee surgery in there too, so that threw me off for a while. When I got really serious about, you know, building the community, I started with posting content 3 times a day, and I did that for about 3 months. And then I dropped it down to 2 times a day, and I added a product post twice a week. Okay, so I gave them like 3 months of content before I ever threw a product. Now, in those 3 months of content, they saw designs. Yeah. They saw stuff I was working on, but they didn't see a product until after about 3 months. I never, you know, my whole goal is to make sure that they understand this is genealogy tips. And yes, I need to make money, and I want to make money, but my primary goal on this page is providing content. And so And you want to make sure, and the reason I only post products 2 days a week is you want to make sure you have 7 to 9 content posts in between product posts. Otherwise, people are going to start feeling like all you're doing is trying to sell them. Okay. All right, next one. So these are some of my products. I created my own memes out of. You'll recognize this one. Remember, you saw that meme earlier, and I put her in there with a Dreamcatcher background. Then my cemetery junkie mug, that was so hilarious. I threw that design together in 5 minutes. And I've sold more of those than almost anything else. It didn't take me, I didn't have a design, nobody, I did that one myself. I had no designer do it, I just did it. But putting it in a cemetery, I put that up on my Facebook page and I had a sale within an hour.
Wow.
So I actually have had more luck with organic sales by posting it on my page than I have with running ads. Now, to be fair, I don't have the whole ad concept wrapped around in my brain yet. So I'm still learning that myself.
Right.
But I have had sales just by throwing up a post like this, and I ask a fun question, are you a cemetery junkie too? And I can't tell you how many times that was shared. So now, in addition to having a link to my page, my sales page, this meme gets shared all over the internet, and you end up getting all kinds of stuff. So let's go to the next one. All right. So now you've got memes up on your page, at least 12 or 15, and you've kind of figured out a schedule that you want to use. You've got your content, your sayings list that you're using to make your memes and all of that. Now you want to invite your friends, okay? Invite your friends that are interested in your niche, and invite your friends that will just support you because it's because of who they are. And so you can see that I've got over 6. So my personal friends list is over 1,000 people, but 60 of my friends have liked my page, okay, and interact with my page. Some of the people you will see now. So there's Sarah, that's my business partner right there. And there's Candida, you'll see her around the community, and Kathleen. So you see people from the community, and that's one of the beauties is that we support each other in our community, In addition to supporting each other, it helps when you watch what other people are doing. Right. I don't think that they're just liking my page because they may or may not be interested in genealogy, but they know I've got 16,000 followers on my page. And you can bet they're watching my page to see what I'm doing.
Right.
To see how they can duplicate that for their niche that they're working on. And so very easily you can invite them individually, or you can see all your friends and then you can click the invite thing over on the side. It's real easy. And I periodically go back in. Just because you invited someone and they didn't accept it doesn't mean that they won't later on. They may not have seen it and may have gotten, so I don't know. Every 3 or 4 months I go through my friends list and look at it and say, oh, they didn't like me. I'm going to invite them again, and so you can do that with your friends. You don't want to bug people, but my friends I'll bug.
Okay, we got a question from Tim here. Do you have a Facebook page and a Facebook group?
I do not have a Facebook group yet. I'm still trying to understand the value of that in my own head. And so right now I've just been working with a Facebook page.
Well, I've got ideas for you. All right, Kay? Yeah. I've had a few while we're going through this. You're sitting on top of a bonfire here.
I know. And that's part of the problem is it's like I got so much to do and trying to figure out how to balance it and kind of make it work. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And then I started running a like campaign to attract new followers. See that picture right there of the Model T? That's my great-grandparents.
Oh. Wow.
In a Model T. Priceless picture, and so I do run when I'm not, so I haven't run a like campaign the whole time, but what I decided, so I ran it for a while and then I stopped. And then I was trying to figure out how to do some other paid advertising and I wasn't wrapping my head around it well. And so I thought, while I was waiting for some other things to fall into place, I said, you know what, I'm going to go back and work on building my community. And so I started up. So when I'm not running ads for products where my money is being spent there, then I turn this ad on and I keep building my community.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not running product ads, I'm building my community.
Right.
And so that's how I've chosen to do it. It's been fun. I've had a blast.
I can tell you've had a lot of fun. You stay up until the wee hours of the morning.
Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times I have done that. So yeah, it's been kind of fun. And so this was a recent organic sale on my Shopify store. I got on my phone the other day. I thought, oh, I have an order. And I went in and looked, $78. And I don't even know where this lady came from. I hadn't done any ads. I hadn't done anything. And she's emailed me a couple of times because she actually ordered a small shirt and she wanted it XXX. And so I had to do some finagling to make that happen. And so we've been emailing back and forth. She says, oh, I just love your stuff. I am so excited. I'll be back. I'll be buying more. And I went, yes. So anyway, that was something like I said, I hadn't been running any ads to drive people to my Shopify store, and this just showed up about 2 weeks ago.
That's awesome. Well, that's a really fantastic overview, Kay. I love hearing your story of how you progressed your print-on-demand business. I especially love that you're building your own assets and your own traffic flow, which I have been teaching and preaching for Kay, about 12 years. You came into my community, read my training manuals and whatnot, is you want to be able to build the strength of your own brand and your own traffic, people who come to know, like, and trust you. And you are investing into your people. Basically, you're investing into them, and then they come back and they buy from you as you position yourself with this person who gives some really wonderful content to them. So we're going to step back for a moment because Kay, I knew you were going to succeed really well because I remember a sales funnel that you put together. You were doing a kitchen or a food MLM, and I featured you on my blog at that time. I'm like, well, look at Kay go. And so it's no surprise when you came into the e-commerce business school, you just run. And you've done that with every sourcing method that we have taught and that you've dived into here at the e-commerce business school. And you're right. And you have trained at our events on mindset. So we're going to do a little fun quiz here, folks, together here. 20% of success is the technical of doing it. And 80% is believing you can. And there's probably nobody better to train on this than Kay when it comes to mindset. But we're going to do this fun little quiz together. And for myself, having worked with, I have a following of, through my free reports, it's upwards of almost 500,000 people. I see this play out, these 3 success pillars. And I want you folks to gauge yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best, in terms of how you assess yourself. So Kay, you go ahead and do this and you see how you score on this, right? 1, you engage in ongoing education and personal self-development. So that means, you see a new method to enhance what you're already doing. You go, yeah, that's going to be helpful. And you dive right into it. That would be an example of the ongoing education. And personal self-development is reading books, taking courses that have to do with making you better than who you already are. Number 2, go ahead and rate yourself again on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best, is you participate in a support and mentoring community. Well, Kay here, I know from when we first rolled out Shop Your Way to Wealth, she was posting left and right, especially when she came to our event in Bloomington, Minnesota. She put up a map, Google map. She was scanning all the way to Minnesota, scanning back, and she shared her story with the community. All right, number 3, so go ahead and rate yourself on that. Number 3 is consistent implementation. Let me give you an example of that. Kay just talked about it. So many posts per day or per week, and so many product offerings or posts per week. So consistent implementation and an engaged mindset. You can hear from Kay, she's paying attention to what she's doing. She's not doing it mindlessly. She's paying really close attention to how people are reacting to what she's doing on her page, and she learns from their behavior. So go ahead and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. You're just rocking the boat on that one. So Kay, I don't know how you're rating there. So I think you're straight up 15.
Yeah.
No doubt about that one. And this is really what makes the big difference, where people scratch their heads and wonder, wow, why is Kay doing so awesome with their print on demand business? It's these 3 success pillars. So this is Coach Kurt put this together as a gauge where you can see when you add up your numbers from these 3, that if you're at a 0 for every one of these, that'd be kind of a problem. You'd have to have a stick to your rear to get you going every single day. And that's just not going to fare very well for the long run, right? And so you can just add up your numbers for how you rated yourself. You don't have to share these. This is just for your own information, and how we took that and how you could rate yourself. So that 13 to 15 next star, yeah, that'd be Kay. She's our next star. She is the star. So we thought that this might be helpful for you, these 3 success pillars. Well, I'm going to hand it over to you, Kay, to do a really quick little mindset training, and then people can learn how they can have a more full-length group coaching mindset training from you.
Okay. Well, like Ann said, 80% really is in your head. And until you really kind of study the power of your brain and how that works and the energy that you send out from your brain, there are so many books out there on that. And I've read so much stuff and researched so much stuff that you start to realize, whether you know it or not, you're doing it. And when you do it right and you don't know what you're doing, you stumble into it. Once you learn these things and you look back and you think, wow, that worked because of this. Now, how much better would I have been if I really understood that before I did it? So knowledge is power. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So I want you to really internalize this. Life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. And this is important. What you see in others exists in you, particularly on the negative. If something irritates you about somebody else, it's probably because you have that very same trait yourself and you don't like it in yourself. And so it irritates you to see it in somebody else. Remember, life is an echo. It always gets back to you. So give goodness. So the power of putting your head first. Okay, let's go to the next one. I want to give you a little food for thought. This is one of the best books I've ever read, As a Man Thinketh. And this is an updated version, The Secrets of As a Man Thinketh by Adam Mortimer and James Allen. James Allen wrote As a Man Thinketh probably at the end of the 1899, the end of the 1800s, I think, is when that book was published. And it's still a classic. Over 100 years later, it's still a classic. That's because truth doesn't change, and that's just the way it is. So I'm going to just give you a couple of quotes to think about from this book. Every man is where he is by the law of his being. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there. And in the arrangement of his life, there is no element of chance, but all is the result of a law which cannot err. All that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. Individual responsibility must be absolute. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. So let's go to the next one. So a great attitude becomes a great day, which becomes a great month, which becomes a great year, which becomes a great life. Did someone pop into your head? This is my dad. And this quote totally epitomizes my dad. This is him sitting at our beach house in the Outer Banks in North Carolina, one of the places that he absolutely loves. He's going to be 90 this year. This quote totally encompasses my dad. But as I read it to you, did you pop into your own head? Does this describe you? It doesn't describe me yet. I'm getting there, but it's not quite yet. But did somebody pop into your head? Think about that and look at them. Look at them as a model. What is it that they're doing? And it starts with a great attitude.
And we have something in common, Kay. My dad is going to turn 90 this year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our first challenge is to become very aware of our thoughts. This doesn't require any additional time. You just have to pay attention. Are your thoughts more negative? If they are, change them, put a positive spin on them, turn them around to a positive perspective. If you're already being positive, be aware, because negatives, we live in a world where there's no way you're not going to have some negativity come into your head. Okay. So if your thoughts tend to be more positive, that's awesome. But just be aware when a negative one pops in and make sure you nix it. Get it off the stage. It doesn't need to be in there. Don't give it the real estate. Okay. So a final tip I want to give you. There's a lot more I could teach you about mindset, and you will find out how later.
Mm-hmm.
But a final learning tip I want to give you. This is one of the most important things that I have learned. I love to teach. And so because I love to teach, anytime I learn, anytime I read, my mindset is always, how can I teach this to somebody else? And when you intend to teach what you learn to someone else, your whole mind shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may be the only person that you learn from. I have a lot of people that say, oh, I could never get up and teach. I could never get in front of it. I could never do that. That's fine. It doesn't matter. You know, you could be teaching your spouse. You could be teaching a significant other. You could be teaching your business partner. That is one of the beauties that Sarah and I have learned. We have both different strengths that complement each other. And it's so much fun to learn together. We keep each other positive. We don't, and we also bring a different perspective to make sure that we're learning correctly. And we're not afraid to challenge each other. But when you have the mindset of, I have to teach this, I'm going to have to turn around and teach this, you're going to take your notes differently. You're going to organize the information differently, and you just think different. And your ability to retain is exponentially increased, because you're going to have to teach it. You got to know it. And it's a whole different mindset. So that's what I want to leave you with tonight. The e-commerce business school, there's no better place to learn. There's not a funner place to learn. We have a great time and a great group of people. So back to you, Ann.
Again, I want to thank you, Kurt. Not Kurt, Kay. Last name is Curtis. Anyways, Kay, for putting this together on very short notice, which really speaks to your leadership and that desire that you love to teach. So just 2 days ago, less than 48 hours ago, I reached out to Kay. Boom, she asked a few questions, off she went, and she put together all this material. So I would really, really appreciate it if you could all provide in the comments section a big kudos, a big thumbs up, a big thank you to Kay, which demonstrates her giving mindset to help others. While she's been helped here at the e-commerce business school, she's giving back in this way. So I really want to thank Kay, you for putting this together. It's been phenomenal. I want to rush off and tell my son, David, who's doing our content plan, you need to watch this training by Kay. It was really fantastic. So many wonderful tips. So we do have a special offer. We specifically invited in folks who came to our print-on-demand information web class this past Thursday. That's who this message is really for. And we have a special offer that ends tonight at 12 a.m. Central Standard. And when you join, you'll receive an in-depth group coaching on Mindset by Kay. And I'm going to say it. I do feel, well, Kay, let me guess here. 98 to nearly 100% of everybody in e-commerce business school can use work on their mindset. And I'm raising my hand right there with everybody else.
It's a never-ending process.
Mm-hmm.
You never get done working on it.
That's right.
And I will tell you, I have seasonal depression, and last winter was one of the worst winters I have had in 15 years. And yet, look what I did on my Facebook. I will tell you that my POD, that genealogy page, is what kept me hanging on while I dealt with all of that.
Wow.
I was engaged with that page. It was something I loved. It was what kept my head. It enabled me to get out of bed. And so I can't even emphasize enough how important that was for me to get me through. I'm doing great now, but I wasn't 3 months ago. And yet Sarah was the only one that knew it.
Oh,
no one in the group. You didn't know it. Nobody knew it but Sarah and my business partner, because she was holding me up a lot of times, you know. And so it's something that we have to work on all the time. And we all have struggles. So yes, I know a lot. Yes, I've learned a lot and I love to teach it, but I still work on it all the time.
That's awesome. And so Kay is trained on mindset. It was in 2018 at our e-commerce business summit, and people came up to Kay afterwards asking for coaching on mindset. So Kay is a mindset certified e-commerce business school coach. It is a needful part of our curriculum. If you've got the stinking thinking going on, and we all slip down into that deep old dirty gutter, and we need someone to help lift us up out of that gutter. So we have that available to you. So what I'm going to do is share with you some special added value from Kay. This is a training, Mindset and Manifesting in Motion equals massive results. And it's totally true. You see it with Kay, with her 16,000 people following her on her page. So this is a group coaching session with Coach Kay Curtis. It's 297 value. You're going to learn the following in Kay's group coaching session: is understanding law. What does that mean? These universal laws. Number 2, the power of awareness. Number 3, the competitive plane versus the creative plane. Clearly, Kay is operating in the creative plane. Number 4 is the power of a manifestation list. Number 5 is 7 steps creating a manifestation list. Okay. That is a group coaching session available from Kay. Plus, brand new, just tonight here, an extra added value bonus. That's right, Kay. It was her idea. I said, that would be fantastic. God bless you, Kay. So how to post great content daily without going crazy. Kay achieved 16,323 followers in 10 short months using this simple method. You guys saw it was a pretty darn simple method. Now, this is going to include the spreadsheet that she uses, her system, and a video training overview. Sign me up, would you? I mean, that is so phenomenal, Kay. I really can't say enough. So now I want to shift gears and talk about how you get these 2 bonuses. If you are in print on demand already, yes, you will get access to these amazing bonuses from Kay. We love Kay. You've got to sing her praises and thank her for that. And then for those who are just now looking at print on demand, you're not sure, but I can see already some people have gotten really inspired by Kay's story and what she has accomplished. And then here we come to find out it is actually her business that pulled her through that seasonal affective disorder. I have a niece I love, who has that as well. And so having this to focus on really, really helped Kay. So I hope that you're all inspired by that. So I'm going to spend about 10 quick minutes here about the 5 steps to print on demand profits. And so if you're not in print on demand profits and you've been impressed by what Kay has taught you here tonight, and you've been inspired and you want her bonuses, then I'm going to go through this rather quickly. So Kay went through this training too, by the way. So there's 5 steps: riches and niches, finding massive profits in minuscule markets. Step 2 is the deadly designs, the creativity secret of the non-creative. Step 3, 60-minute launch from concept to customers in no time flat. Step 4 is vet now, win later, and that's to create a killer team by multiplying your mind and your profits. Step 5 is scale to the stars. I'm pretty sure Kay is headed there. Beloved brand to household name. You've seen how her post went viral. So here's what you're going to receive inside the print on demand profit system. So the riches and niches, finding massive profits in minuscule markets. You're going to learn Brian's master niche planner that he's going to provide for you, how to tell when a niche is hot, trend tracking to help you always be one step ahead, fire buyers and how important they are. You just saw that screenshot from Kay. That person, she didn't even know where they came from. Boom, $79 order right there. That's a fire buyer. Finding the money, Pinterested, how to get more traffic through Pinterest, and how to be niche and evergreen at the same time. And we're into step 2, pay once, profit tons, how to tie people's identity into their passions. I think he has definitely done that. How to use tons of common images and styles 100% legally without copyright infringement and without spending a penny. Kay, you're not spending a boatload of money on images, are you?
Oh, I haven't bought one image.
Okay, not a single penny.
Nope, I have not.
And you're getting most of your sales from your organic traffic, is that correct?
Yep.
There you go, folks. So find and create hundreds of designs for next to nothing. Well, Kay's done it for nothing. Popular and obscure niches. Well, Kay found a very popular one that she's very passionate about. The game changer, that's found in there, and theming. All right, we're going to go to step 3, the 60-minute launch from concept to customers in no time flat. Ruthless testing, how to take advantage of Amazon's traffic without getting lost in the crowd. Process beats perfect. This is how Brian developed his brand, was through Amazon. In Kay's instance, she used Facebook to build her brand. You have options and choices here. So kind of the gamut for Brian, he broke through using Amazon's traffic. So how to spy on your competitors and drive their customers to you. The thesaurus technique. Now here you saw from Kay, you saw that huge list of all those resources that she has bookmarked so that she can find content. She's just a good research sleuth, and you can be the same too. Create listings that make people stop, stare, and buy, and make the Amazon gods smile upon you. So this is definitely focused when you use Amazon as your launch pad. Step 4, this is when you want to start to outsource your work. Well, I think in Kay's case, she's in love with her work. Would that be fair to say, Kay, you are in love with what you're doing?
Yeah. I'd have a really hard time offloading the creative part of the business. So I find other areas to offload so that I can keep doing this, because I love it. I'm having too much fun.
And you did that with your book business. You figured out which parts to outsource. So you're just finding which parts light your fire and which parts you're like, that one I can outsource. So beautiful. So how to systemize your process so almost everything is done by someone else, if you so choose. How to amass an epic team at dirt cheap prices. That's talking about VAs in the Philippines primarily. The secret to teaching your team to think like you and turning your brain into 4 or however, with all of them focused on the same thing, which is putting as much money into your pocket as possible. And lastly, step 5, scale to the stars, beloved brand name beloved brand to household name. So creating a Shopify store, which Kay did. She started with Shopify. And I want to let you know that in the print on demand profit system, you have access to the entire scope, whether you want to just start with Amazon or if you're like, no, I want to go full bore like Kay has. It's really entirely up to you. It's all in the course. The A to Z of Facebook ads, retargeting, the 4 types of Facebook ad campaigns you must know, and 3 that you want to avoid. And then you can also learn about Amazon ads and how Brian turned $3,200 into $48,000 in sales in a single month. So it again is called the Print on Demand Profit System. It's a business you can run from anywhere in the world. Is that true, Kay? Could you go to?
Oh yeah, I do it at the beach house all the time.
So total flexibility, no ad spend. You do it mostly through organic, right?
Yep. The only ad spend that I've had has been the like campaigns, and that's a choice I made, and you do that based on your budget.
Okay. And then now, when you started, did you have a following for genealogy when you started your print on demand business?
No.
You started with 0.
Yeah. I had to start from scratch.
And no inventory, you don't have a bunch of stuff sitting in a warehouse that you've invested in. Is that correct?
Nope. None. I don't have any. The only thing I have sitting around my house are my samples that I bought to look at to make sure I liked it.
Yeah, makes sense. So all you need is a laptop and an idea. Kay, is this true?
Yep.
All right. That is literally how it works. And you just heard that from Kay with her genealogy. All right. So that's not all, because we also have some additional bonuses to offer you just for checking out the Print on Demand Profit System, the POD Profit Powerhouse. So Kay, can you put in a word about our community pages and the benefit it's been for you, and as you've seen it for others, because you are a trainer and coach as well? What is the power in our group pages?
they're just, you have so much support. And when you're first learning, especially if you don't have a partner, and you're trying to do it on your own, it's scary, and you have questions, and you want to make sure you're doing it right. And everybody jumps in to help you. And to be honest with you, our Facebook pages help you avoid, or I shouldn't say avoid, delay having to need a one-on-one coach.
Mm.
You get a lot of training there from people sharing their experiences, and even we're on the pages and we're sharing stuff there too. You may get to a point where you say, you know what, I just need someone to help me wrap my head around this and make sure I'm going in the right direction for me, and that's where the one-on-one coaching really helps. But you get really a ton of coaching help in our community, because that's just how everyone gives back.
Right. Yep. Bonus number 2 is Facebook Ads Explosion for those who want to get into the paid advertising. Bonus number 3 is Amazon Custom, the cheapest, fastest way to test designs, which is Brian's specialty, Amazon Custom. Bonus number 4 is no more mix-ups, communicating with your designer the right way. It's okay. You don't have any problem communicating with your designer, do you?
Not now, but I did in the beginning. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. You probably spend your first 2 months just trying to figure out how to talk to them in a language that they understand. It's like taking your idea and being able to talk to them in design language. And it's not something that you easily learn. It doesn't come naturally to me. I haven't had design classes, so it's definitely a learning curve.
But do you do most of your designs?
No.
Oh,
I do.
okay.
I do a lot of my designs because I like to do it. But I have used Design Pickle.
Okay.
So I have an account with them, and they have actually done the bulk of my designs.
Oh, okay.
And then just recently, my niece, who is majored in design, she started her own design business. So she's working on some designs for me now, which this is awesome. So she's a mom with 3 kids, lives in Alaska, and wants to be able to stay home and raise her kids. And so Sarah and I are throwing some stuff at her, and once we kind of get things worked out so she understands what we're doing, I would easily refer to other people in the community if they don't want to commit to a design company.
Yeah, that creates a win-win, and that speaks to our internal economy of people resources that people develop as they are building their own businesses. By the way, this image you're looking at, that design, that was by Design Pickle. Yeah. And I think it's pretty darn nice. All of these are from Design Pickle. We have the POD Quick Start, which is this coming Monday at 8 p.m. CT, which we want to hand guide you, bringing you into print on demand. And then these are brand new, courtesy of Kay. I hope you've really enjoyed her story, hearing about how she developed her print on demand business. So mindset and manifesting in motion equals massive results. And you know what? She can truly claim this title for her training because she's done it over and over with multiple sourcing methods. So that is a group coaching call with Coach Kate Curtis, 297 value. And then bonus number 7, these are brand new, how to post great content daily without going crazy. Follow Kay's system. She's got the blueprint for you. It's beautiful. So that's everything that you receive, the entire course. The POD Profit Powerhouse is the Facebook group page. The Ads Explosion is for those who want to do paid traffic. Amazon Custom, which Brian is a specialist at. Communicating with your designer, that's by Dr. Josie Shepard. The POD Quick Start, that's coming up on Monday. Brian is going to be there, Mr. Brian Cummings. The Manifestation Mindset Training by Kay. And the Create Great Content Without Going Crazy, also from Kay, is a total value of $13,776. That is the link. I see Coach Kurt. Coach Kurt, can you put it in the panel as well? Or maybe you're not in here. I'll put that in here, mypodprofits.com. I want to make sure everybody has that. That's how you gain access. Now, these go away. These bonuses with Kay go away tonight at midnight. So if you want what Kay has put together here as added value, just because she is awesome, we want to share Kay's awesomeness with you. PayPal does provide a way for which you can get financing through PayPal, and you would just need to go to the cart and then click on PayPal. And when you log into your PayPal account, note the big purple button, okay, and take advantage of that. So like I said, this new special edition with Kay, that's being offered to you for those who join Print on Demand tonight. And this ends at midnight Central Standard. I know we just went through daylight savings time, and I don't know if it's CST or CDT or CT. I have no idea, but 12 o'clock Central Standard Chicago time, okay? And then it will go back to its regular price of $1997. So Kay, you know, you and Sarah both, you two put together a game plan. You both wanted to be certified. You two came to, I think, every single training event we had for, I think, 2 years straight.
Yep.
And you paid quite a bit more than what most people are being asked to pay for the training that we've had. Did that accelerate your business by participating in events and moving forward into the training?
Every training that I took, every event that I attended, every coaching that I paid for only took me, depending, I mean, some I made bigger investments in some things than others, but within 2 to 4 months, I had recovered, you know, my bigger expense items, because I jumped into everything. I'm the type of person, when I want to move now. I don't want to wait for the next training to come.
Yep.
And so in September, you know, I joined Shop Your Way to Wealth in June, end of June. September, I just jumped into the highest level that Ann offered so that I had access to everything. And that's how I added wholesale in November, was because I had upgraded to the highest level of mentorship and I had access to all the training that had been previously given so I could learn it on my own and move. But every time I have invested in myself with the e-commerce business school, it has, if you implement what you learn, you have to implement what you learn, you'll get it back in spades, and it doesn't take long.
That's right. And 80% of your success is believing you can do it. And I know for a fact that is the main thing that holds them back. Yes, even when it comes to, but I don't know where I'm going to get the money. Okay. People who really are focused on wanting something, they make it happen when they believe they can do it. And so this is why we added in the mindset training. By the way, I just want to read off here. Thank you from Tim, who's watching on Facebook. I was already in print on demand space. The POD course in the community and in the team provide is worth every penny. I'm learning all the time from them. And Judith says, this is so true. I can't tell you how many people have reached out and helped me individually. Thank you to Kay, to Candida, to Amber, to Danita. That it is such a mutual respect that people have here within our community. I know Candida's heart is, I don't like to see anyone ever feeling like they're not getting their questions answered. And so she's compelled to be a leader on the group page and help assist people. Those are the kind of people that we attract here into the e-commerce business school. So what we have, so it's 50% off regular price when you purchase tonight. And we'll open it up for Q&A. You can just go ahead and post any comments. I'm watching on Facebook on my phone, as well as here in the webinar that we happen to be in. So let us know, type in the panel. If you have a question, you just gotta ask Kay, because this is a pretty special time to have Kay here in this call and giving of her time in this way. This is the time, all right? So type it in the panel. I'm watching on the webinar and I'm watching through Facebook. Just go ahead and let us know, and we'll see if we can get Kay to answer that, right? So I really do have a lot of ideas for you, Kay.
Oh, good.
I have a lot of ideas, trust me, because you have built the foundation. Oh, here we go. Dorothy is here making a comment. Thank you. She was just saying she can understand your pain relative to that. It's called seasonal affective disorder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good. I don't see any other questions, but thank you, Kay. We better let you go. It sounds like you're getting some sniffles there, and hope it's not any kind of allergic reaction or anything, but thank you so much. This has been fantastic. This is Take It to the Bank training that you provided tonight. Take it to the bank. So I really appreciate you, and I'm excited to see our newest print-on-demand profit system members get this kind of powerful help from you. So thank you so much. You have a great evening, Kay.
You too. Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you inside the print on demand profit system. And we have our quick start tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard. Go ahead and click on the link, mypodprofits.com. See you then. Bye-bye, everyone.